Oh, Ramadan days.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. We are with Brother Mohamed Hoblos. Brother Mohamed, I've heard you say this story many, many times, and I'd like to share it with the audience. It's something to do with the lollipop.
Yeah, it's usually it's a story that I like to share when I'm up there on the stage at a fundraising dinner, because the truth is, when it comes to charity, Malaz, is that we tend to have a deficiency in the trust of the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet are saying, give, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace.
Yes.
And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace 10 times and up to 700. So we already know that the promise of Allah is clear. And any sound mind, sound heart will know that if I give, Allah will not deprive me. But why is it that when we come to give, why is it so hard? I mean, every one of us believes, and every one of us believes in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I usually like to draw a parable, a story, to make us see how bad it is when you don't give. And I usually give you this example. Anyone who's a father, who has a kid, will know.
Or even a mother would know as well.
Or a mother, anyone. I want you to imagine, that you take your kid with you to the shops. And your kid has nothing, and he sees a lolly that he likes. So you buy this lolly for your child, and really the value of the lolly was insignificant to you anyway. But the joy and happiness, when the kid got this. And then imagine you left the shop, and your son or your daughter has this lolly. And then you walk by a kid that's, let's say he's poor. And you could see the kid is looking at the lolly
that your son has.
Yeah, in your son's hand. And he does, he puts those puppy dog eyes on and does these ones to you, and will please. Now you as a father, how would you feel? So you now wanting to teach your son a lesson, you say to him, Dad, look, I tell you what, give him the lolly and I'll get you a new one. So your son, who a few minutes ago didn't have the lolly and knows very well that you were the one that bought it for him, looks at you and you're giving him your word. I'm telling you, Dad, I promise you, I'm going to replace the lolly for you.
Well, another one.
Give it to them. So I want you to imagine now, how would you feel as a father or as a mother? Your son or your daughter looks at the lolly, then looks at you, then looks at the lolly, then looks at the poor kid and says, you know what, Dad, I'm going to hang on to it, man.
I'm going to keep it for myself.
I'm going to keep this one. How would you feel? Really, you would get emotional. Dad, Baba, I'm telling you, give the lolly.
I'll get you
And
another
I'll
one.
get you another one. It's just, And then you increase it for him. You tell him, how about you give the kid the lolly and I'll buy you a box of them. And he still insists on no. How would you feel? And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above any example. Imagine how does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala feel when He's telling you to give? And I promise you that I will give it back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you that this is not your money. Really, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever it is that we own, who gave it to us? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. And Allah is saying, give, and I promise you that I will return it. We look at our money, we look at the project, or we look at the orphan, or we look at whatever it is.
The masjid, the center.
The masjid, the center, whatever it is. We look at the cause, we look at our money, and we say, no, I'm going to hold on to it. That's worse than the kid who just had his father buy him a lolly, and now his father's promising him a box of lollies. So, this is, I usually share this story to make people see the truth of their actions. We all claim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razzaq, and we claim that, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks the truth. But you find that there is shortcomings in our actions. So my brothers and sisters, give. Don't hold back. Give. And like how you as a father or a mother would never deprive your son or your daughter who gave the lolly, I'm sure you're going to buy them a box. And you'll probably buy a box for the kid too that was outside. Imagine what Allah will do for you when you give.